Americans feel more threat from China now than in the past 3 decades. I wonder why. What issues are Biden and Xi likely to discuss? What deals can we expect them to make? How will the meeting impact our lives? But most importantly, can the Chinese be trusted even if there is a deal made? Well, joining us right now with insight is Frank Gaffney. He's executive chairman and founder of the Center for Security Policy and author of the recently released book, The Indictment: Prosecuting the Chinese Communist Party and Friends for Crimes Against America, China, and the World. Is that not enough? Frank is also the host of Securing America right here on Real America's Voice. Welcome, Frank Gaffney. Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Hi, it's great to be with you.
Why do I just feel like this isn't going to amount to, as my grandma used to say, a hill of beans? I feel like this is going to be all about the environment and, all of these goofy, esoteric things that aren't really the problem. Like you're killing our kids with fentanyl. Jason just had a client this morning who killed himself, or his daughter was killed with fentanyl. It's happening every single day. The fact that our borders are being invaded, the fact that China is behind so much of the evil, the fact that they want a war with us and they're working with Russia to that end. Frank, is Biden, can he be counted to talk about any of that?
I think the best we can hope for is that this will not amount to a hill of beans. If Joe Biden talks about any of this stuff, it will be in a way that I'm afraid only further emboldens the Chinese Communist Party. The sentiment the American people are expressing in that poll is because the Chinese Communist Party is a mortal threat to our country, and they're perceiving it. The old line about a conservative is a liberal who's been mugged by reality. And I think an awful lot of Americans have been mugged by the reality that the Chinese Communist Party, and Xi Jinping is its emperor, if you will, its dictator, is set on nothing less than destroying our country. Fentanyl is a symptom of it. The biological warfare attack against us, the COVID-19 pandemic, was a symptom of it. But so are the other things that we talk about in this book, The Indictment. It's all about the unrestricted warfare that China has waged against us for decades. And if you want to just know how bad this can be, the single most important line of attack in that unrestricted warfare, and it involves economic warfare and energy warfare and biological warfare and information operations and on and on. The single most important is a practice the Chinese call elite capture. And my friend and colleague Sam Faddis, one of our great undercover operatives for the CIA, says, in the lexicon of the business of elite capture, which he used to engage in for us, is the term controlled asset of the Chinese Communist Party, which he thinks fits Joe Biden. And so the two of these guys getting together is not going to end well for us, I'm afraid.
Frank, let's be honest. Joe Biden needs to be reminded that he's in San Francisco to even begin with, and he probably thinks he's ordering Chinese food rather than meeting with the Chinese president. So let's get that off the table real quick. But beyond all of that, if you're in a room with the president of China, you've got 5 minutes. I feel like Vivek Ramaswamy. Go. What do you do? What do you say? You got 3 minutes. Let me give you 3 minutes. Actually, I'm looking at the clock. You got about a minute and a half. Go ahead. Frank.
This is getting shorter and shorter. What I would say to him is, look, Xi Jinping, we're not going to prop you up any further. You heard Janet Yellen talking about how we're not going to disengage from China. Actually, we are. We recognize that what you are doing, not just to us, but to our vital interests around the world through what I describe as your arson. You're lighting the match that led to the invasion of Ukraine by Vladimir Putin. You lit the match with your friend Iran that led to the invasion of Israel. You are very inclined to light other matches because you'd like to take us our eye off the ball for sure, but also out of the game so that you can take Taiwan perhaps without firing a shot, maybe even by opening up a home front conflagration here. We're not going to tolerate that. We are going to do everything we can to take down your Chinese Communist Party, not prop it up further. That's what I'd do in a minute and a half.
So I've got a quick question for you, and I'm going to quote my wife, who often says, don't urinate. She uses a different word, but don't urinate on my garden and tell me it's raining. To that point, President Biden is going into this. Don't ask me why that was my lead-in, but that's what came to my mind. So President Biden is going into this meeting saying that it is colorful, right? Yeah, he's going into this meeting saying that he wants to open the lines of communication with China, that's his main goal. Isn't that a sign of weakness in and of itself, talking more rather than pushing for some real action, something of substance?
Well, again, it's just a distraction from what's really going on here. Joe Biden has made it clear, as have his subordinates, they want to re-engage with China. This isn't just about communications. They want to be sending more of our money there to prop up these guys in a very difficult time. They are really in crisis. It is the moment for us to work with the Chinese people, not the Chinese Communist Party, to get rid of a regime that has oppressed them horrifically. 100 million people, by some estimates, have been killed by the Chinese Communist Party in China. And, they threaten us. We have a natural ally in the Chinese people. We should be communicating with them, not with their oppressors.